Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Whenever are you ready, Murali Prabhu? We are live from the stage of Sri Govinda Mela 2024. Welcome to our beautiful class on this beautiful Thursday, 18 July. And what a treat you have, guys. It is International Assembly of the most beloved daughters of Srila Govinda Maharaj. They have been serving the mission for, I cannot tell the dates because otherwise I don't get treats later, but they are the heart of our mission, no doubt. So this is the time to know everything you want to know about how to serve Gurudeva, his mission, his devotees, and his deities. You have from the golden lotus mouth of these beautiful ladies. So also, this is a two-part class. The first part, we have the beautiful, and please help me to welcome them to the stage, Divya Shakti Devi. And the beautiful Srimati Saraswati Devi from London. And the hermosísima Madre Madhuchanda from México. Ela esperta, la fantástica Vaidehi Amair Devi. Translating Madhuchanda. Yeah. And our beloved Kalindi Devi. She is our mother here in Sevashram. So welcome. Join us in honor our beautiful well-wishers. Jai.
Sí, no, si quieren hacer alguna pregunta, es mejor. Primero, pues les ofrezco mis humildes reverencias a sus benditos pies, ladies and gentlemen.
I think you understood, but just in case, I first offer my respectful obeisances to your lotus feet, ladies and gentlemen.
Me da mucho gusto que estés aquí.
Oh, and if anybody would like to ask a question, I'm still sorting the mic situation here. Okay. If anybody would like to ask a question to Madhuchanda, I'm going to be translating later to her ear.
Me da mucho gusto que estés aquí, porque estás rodeado de ladies guerreras, ladies que han dado su vida para que la misión de Srila Govinda Maharaj esté y permanezca y seguirá permaneciendo por la fuerza de todas ellas.
I'm very pleased that you're here, surrounded by ladies who are warriors, ladies who have given their lives for the mission of Gurudev. ¿Y la segunda parte?
Ya se me olvidó, pues ¿qué crees que yo soy repetidora?
Who, I don't know, who are maintaining. Yes,
Para
thank
que la
you.
misión de Gurudev
I do need
prevalezca y
help.
continúe, es por estas mujeres guerreras que están aquí.
Okay. Sorry, I can't translate until I fix this because it's
Cada vez que las
distracting.
veas,
Nope,
ofrécele
I do not.
tus humildes reverencias a sus sagrados pies. Cada vez que las veas, que les ofrezca.
Every time you see them,
Ponte
please offer them obeisances to their lotus feet.
¿Ok? Ok. Una pregunta. No, él. Iba dirigida a él.
Okay, one question directed
No,
to you.
pero todo lo que dije iba dirigido a
And
él.
everything that I've
Porque es
just
el
said was
único-
directed
es el
towards
único
you,
que está aquí.
'cause you're the
Es el único varón. Iba dirigido
only
a
male
ti,
that is here.
no a ellas.
Not
Ellas
to them,
son las guerreras.
but to you. They are the warriors.
Iba dirigido a ti.
That was directed at you.
Pregunta.
Question?
I want to hear some of the personal instructions you received from Gurudeva.
Yo quiero escuchar las instrucciones personales que has recibido de Gurudev.
La última fue cuando él estaba 3 meses a punto de partir.
The last one was when he was 3 months away from leaving this world.
Fuimos a verlo en diciembre,
We went to see him in December,
pero teníamos que regresar antes de su Vyasa Puja.
but we had to return before his Vyasa Puja.
Llegamos, él sabía cuándo íbamos a partir, cuándo íbamos a llegar y cuándo íbamos a regresar.
We arrived and he knew when we were going to arrive and when we were going to leave.
Él ya estaba en cama, él ya no se paraba, lo hacían parar para caminar unos metros, pero él ya no caminaba por sí solo, muy hinchado por las medicinas.
He was already in bed. He wasn't walking. They would make him walk back and forth. He was very swollen from the medicine.
Cuando entré, al llegar, y él estaba acostado, me acerqué a él, le tomé su mano.
When I arrived, I entered and I got close to him and I took his hand.
Y él lo único que dijo es mírame, look at me, mírame cómo estoy, ¿no?
The only thing he said to me was, "Look at me. Look at how I am."
Le tomé su mano y pues lo único que yo hacía era llorar, de
I-
verlo así.
I took his hand and the only thing that I did was to cry to see him that way.
Saraswati estaba presente. en ese
Saraswati was
momento.
present in that moment.
Y de ahí creo que permanecí como 10, 12 días y él ya no entraba nadie en su baranda, estaba prohibido entrar en su baranda para que no lo mortificaran, pero
And I was there for 10 to 12 days, and I stayed there. And at that time, it was prohibited for anybody to enter his veranda. Nobody could enter at that time.
pero yo podía entrar las veces que yo quisiera.
But I could go in as much as I wanted to.
Yo permanecí ahí a unos metros sintiéndome como una mosca que estaba parada en un mueble.
I stayed there feeling just a few meters away, just like a fly that was standing or sitting on a piece of furniture.
Yo no me quería retirar de allí.
I didn't want to leave from there.
Y cuando ya llegó el momento de que yo regresara a Veracruz, a México,
And when the moment came for me to return to Veracruz,
me acerqué a él y le dije que me iba al otro día.
I approached him and I said that I would be leaving the next day.
Abrió sus ojos grandotes
He opened his eyes really wide
y me dijo,
and he said to me,
¿me haces un gran festival
"You will make me a grand festival
y distribuyes mucho prasadam?
and you will distribute much prashadam."
Esa fue la última instrucción que él me dio.
That was the last instruction that he gave me.
Y regresé para celebrar su Vyasa Puja en Veracruz y así fue.
And I returned to celebrate his Vyasa Puja in Veracruz, and that is how it went.
Cuando desde ese momento quise regresar a India para verlo de nuevo,
Since that moment, I wanted to return to India to see him again.
no tenía dinero.
I didn't have money.
Empecé a pedir dinero que me dieran mis amigos que de alguna manera siempre nos han ayudado.
I began to ask for money from friends who have always somehow or other helped us,
Y todos decían que no había.
and everyone said there wasn't any, they couldn't.
Yo estuve como 2 meses muy desesperada porque sabía que a lo mejor yo no podía volver a ver a Gurudev.
For 2 months, I was just so desperate because I knew that I probably wasn't going to be able to see Gurudev.
Y así fue.
And that's how it
En
went.
marzo, como ustedes saben, después de Gurpurnim, él partió y me avisó Srila Maharaj.
In March, as you know, he left this world, and Ashram Maharaj let me know.
Y me dio la noticia.
He gave me the news.
En ese momento mi única desesperación era querer ir a India.
In that moment, my only desperation was wanting to go to India.
Volví a pedir dinero a mis amigos
I began to again ask my friends for money,
y me dijeron sí.
and they said yes.
Y le dije a Ashram Maharaj, voy para allá, salgo en el primer vuelo que vaya a India. Y él me dijo, no, te quedas.
And I told Ashram Maharaj, I will leave immediately on the first flight that I get to India. And he said, no, you will stay.
para poder consolar a todos los devotos de México.
so you can help console all of the devotees in Mexico.
En ese momento yo lloraba y lloraba y lloraba y lloraba. Mi corazón allí se desquebrajó.
In that moment, all I could do was just keep crying and crying and crying. And in that moment, my heart just fell apart.
Y así fue, me quedé, hicimos también la celebración de su desaparición en medio de mucho dolor, pero tenía yo que quedarme por una instrucción. Pero mi rebeldía era tan grande por dentro que aborrecí ese momento por muchos años.
And in that way, I stayed to take care of the devotees who needed the support. And I, for many years, regretted that moment. I abhorred that moment.
Muchas veces yo acataba las instrucciones, no de Gurudev, sino de otros Vaishnavas, y siempre recordando las palabras de Srila Sridhar Maharaj de actitud virtuosa, ¿no? Aunque yo consideraba que no, pero lo hacía por una actitud virtuosa, recordando a Param Gurudev.
And I've always taken the instructions that I've received as an act of virtue, remembering Srila Sridhar Maharaj's words to receive those instructions as an act of virtue. And she had said before that in her rebellion, she abhorred that moment. That was the mood with which she was regretting
Volví a
that moment.
hacerlo al quedarme allí, pero por muchos años aborrecí haber obedecido en ese momento.
I did it. I remained there and I followed the instructions, but for many years I really abhorred that moment.
El tiempo observa y espera. El tiempo hizo que mi corazón volviera a estar tranquilo y hasta el momento de hoy, para mi Gurudev no se ha ido.
¿Qué es lo que dices? ¿Que el tiempo qué?
Observa y espera, o sea, ve cómo, en este caso, mi corazón, cómo iba a estar tranquilo para...
And with time observes, and it observed my heart and allowed me to tranquilize. And over time, I came to feel that Gurudev has not left.
Y hasta la fecha, hasta el día de hoy, él me instruye todos los días.
And to this date, he gives me instructions every single day.
Todos los días.
Every single day.
Cada vez que yo hago algo, yo le pregunto a él.
Every time I do anything, I ask him.
Cada vez que hablo, yo le pregunto a él.
Every time I speak,
Háblale a los corazones de los
I
demás.
ask him, and he says, "Speak to the hearts of others."
Gurudev no se ha ido.
Gurudev has not left.
Está aquí.
He is here.
Ay, Madhuchanda Devi.
So can I ask the same question for all of you? I think it's a beautiful question. Which instruction Srila Gurudeva gave?
I remember when I was feeling not able to keep doing the collection that I used to do, and I mentioned to Gurudeva, "Oh, Gurudeva, I don't think I can keep going collecting." No problem. You just do the needful. That was always his instruction. You observe and you do the needful, and that will please me. He said he was very pleased with the steady service. He said, "I'm very pleased with the devotees that they stayed, that they keep going on doing their responsible service." He always advised us to do responsible service and be steady, be doing that. So I don't have so much to say. I'm just very touched hearing Madhuchanda's words. I just remember that Gurudeva always telling us to be humble, to be compassionate, to tolerate, and that's very hard instructions to follow. That's not easy. It's not easy. He said you can fake humility, but you cannot fake tolerance. Tolerance is very difficult. So we always have to remember how Gurudeva said that the only thing that separates us from him and from the Supreme Lord is the ego. It's so simple. It's just demolish the mountain of ego, which is not simple at all. We all know that. But with the help of the association, with the heart of the devotees, we can accomplish miracles. Miracles that being in this miserable place of birth and death, we still have some hope or some transcendence, connecting with something that is beautiful, that is eternal, that is full of joy by the grace of our guardians. That's a miracle. I remember one time, it's the story of Srila Prabhupada, they were asking him, so you can do miracles? When he went back to India with all the Western, can you do miracles? Can you show us some miracles? Oh, here is my miracle. My white dancing elephant, he called the Western devotee. So it's really a miracle, being born in the Western world where we have so much play for enjoyment. It's really a miracle of our guardian that we can concentrate on something that is higher than our material desire for exploitation and enjoyment. So all of you are our treasure. All of you give us so much nourishment. Gurudeva, I think all of you. And I really thank all of you for being here, and please keep coming. We have to keep going with this beautiful opportunity. As Tyagi Maharaj put it, to be unite in service and Sankirtan. All glories to the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And all glories to all of you. Hare Krishna.
Kalindi Didi ki jai. Madhuchanda ki jai.
No. Okay, Dandavata pranams to all of you. That one or this one? This is a bit heavy. This one? It's okay? So today's topic was Srila Gurudev's mission. Was it? The devotee taking care of Srila Gurudev's mission.
Deities and Devotees.
So this is an instruction that Srila Gurudev gave to all his disciples of the mission. And we need to, what is actually Srila Gurudev's mission? We need to think about that. And his instructions, right? His instructions, his guidance. And that we need to keep in our head. And how much are we able to offer? How much are we able to sacrifice for Srila Gurudev's mission? How much are we able to dedicate? How much time can we sacrifice for Srila Gurudev's service and his mission? And this is why we gather here, to come together in service, leave aside our differences, and be united and glorify Srila Gurudeva and his missions. His teachings are always with us. They are a source of inspiration, his teachings. And we know that he's always backing us up in our service. He's the source of inspiration. That's what we are offering our service, is to him and his mission. So we're trying to do in the best possible way. And regarding his devotees, we need to take care of his devotees as well. And Srila Gurudev emphasized that in some occasions, that we need to look after devotees. We need to look after his devotees. And depending where we are, if we are in a temple environment where we have maybe some responsibility, we always need to make sure that the devotees are well. And also, we need to make sure that they are taking care of themselves physically, because we forget about that. We need to look after ourselves so that we can be a fit recipient of Gurudev, an instrument for Srila Gurudev's service. not only physically, emotionally, mentally. We need to look after the devotees. And sometimes we forget that, we neglect that. We need to bear in mind that. Because if the devotees are not well, how can they serve? How can they serve Srila Gurudev's mission if they are not well? So that is very important. And it's not only coming because I have a medical background or something like that. It's just it's a human thing. It's a, we need to care for them. And Srila Gurudev himself instructed me to do that. So it's not just an instruction for me, but I think it's an instruction for everybody. And Srila Gurudev also, during his glorious service life, he gave many instructions in regards to what books we should read, what song we should sing, and always keeping the mission of Srila Guru Maharaj. I'm missing one word. To keep it not alive. To no desviarse de la corriente. To not deviate, to keep the purity of Srila Guru Maharaj's line. To keep that purity, to maintain that purity of the conception of Guru Maharaj. That is very important. And when we are in a temple environment, looking after the temple, the devotees, that's something that we need to bear in mind always. And how do we need to get some guidance from senior Vaishnavas, from the teaching of Srila Gurudev, his books, lectures. There is so much guidance and nectar there that we take shelter of. That helps us. That helps us to continue our service. And if we do have some problem or doubts or not feeling so inspired, always take shelter of the senior Vaishnavas. Like Srila Rupa Goswami said, we need to find someone who you can confide in and express your heart. And they will help you. And obviously, when we are looking after an ashram or temple, I know there is different standards in different places. We know that. We have deities we need to look after. And Srila Gurudev also put emphasis that we need to look after the deities very nicely, in every way. So if we have a lot, we offer nice preparations. If whatever we have, we can offer, as long as it is made with a sincere offering, with the heart. But obviously, the main thing in this age is the Harinam Sankirtan. And of course, we worship the Lord and we look after everyone, but we also put emphasis in the Harinam Sankirtan and the preaching, the conception of Srila Guru Maharaj and Srila Gurudev, spreading the teachings of Mahaprabhu far and wide. So Srila Gurudev, you asked about, he gave many subtle instructions when I was around him. And sometimes he said, we can, if we are feeling that we are not able to do something, he said, you are able to do that. You can. You have the strength. And that strength is coming from him. And yes, he always emphasized that. And another, we are trying. We are all practitioners who needs to continue practicing. And sometimes people, why is he not, why does he does everything perfect? We are practitioners. Like in a temple environment, we'll see that not everyone is perfect. Everyone is trying. Everyone is a student. So obviously, it's like a hospital for the soul. And Gurudev is the doctor, and we need to take that medicine. The medicines are the practice, the sadhana, and we need to take it and practice it and take it regularly. If you take it regularly, then you will be cured of our conditions, our bad tendencies, all our nartas, and all these things that are layers and layers of them. So we can continue doing that. Srila Gurudev also did not like when we criticize the Vaishnavas. That's something that we have to avoid doing. And we don't encourage that, and we don't support that, and we don't tolerate that. We have to give honor and respect to everyone. Everyone. And if we don't agree with someone, you can give your respectful distance, or mantenemos una distancia respetuosa. Respectful distance. Right? So, I think, I don't know if you have any questions. Maybe it's easier.
I'd like to ask you maybe about your service in London, that you have become the manager of the London temple there, and it's very wonderful, and it's being run very, very nicely and enthusiastically, and so many people are coming, and so many people are, enthused to do service there. So what was Gurudev's instruction? He told you directly to take charge of this mission in London, and how did that happen? How did that come about?
He did not tell me directly, but he wanted a temple in London for the London mission. We do have a small temple in East London where he came many times, and he graced the devotees there with his glance and his association. It's a very beautiful, sweet temple where it's been looked after nicely, and the deities of Sisi Guru Gauranga Radha Syamasundar are there, looked after by Devashish Prabhu, Ishanuga Didi, and Toshan Prabhu, Ramasundar Prabhu, and many others. And it's going on still very nicely. And then Srila Gurudev wanted a bigger center, a bigger facility, where we could accommodate a large quantity of devotees, and maybe envision it as a preaching facility where we can carry out many different programs and things like that. And I remember in India in 2009, I was there with Srila Gurudev, and they were still looking for a temple for many years, maybe more than 20 years. He wanted a center. And many devotees were involved in helping with that project. Even Nyasi Maharaj, Srileka Didi, Udaram Prabhu, and Devashish Prabhu, yourself, Lalita Madhava, Bharati Maharaj, Pandita, and many devotees also actually collected for many years for that program. Aditinandan Prabhu, Lavanya Maji, Sachi Didi. There is countless of devotees who were collecting for that project that Gurudev wanted. One of Gurudev's dreams was to have a bigger facility that will, a bigger facility for his Gurudev, for the dignity of his Gurudev, and for the mission, for the preaching of the mission. Because Gurudev may make many temples, but they are sanctuaries or place to go and associate with the devotees and do some practice together, and worship and classes and everything. So, so what happened was that Gurudev was receiving phone calls from London at that time. I was on my own with him. He was receiving a phone call, and it was not very positive about the center because they would look at different places, but it was not possible for one reason or another. And this time, it didn't happen. So the news wasn't positive news about the new place, and he put the phone down and he sat very, very sad on the bed. So I was a little far away, and I just thought, if there is anything that I can do, I will do it for you. But that was just something that I thought. But with this new temple, there were so many devotees that gave so much of their energy and time to make it possible. And especially Lalita Madhava Prabhu, Sripad Bhakti Chaitanya Bharati Maharaj, and Lalita Madhava's family. They contributed mainly towards buying this property, which actually happened in a very miraculous way by Gurudev's will. So Gurudev left the world on that day, and that day was the papers were signed for this property. It's Gurudev's miracle, really. I don't know any other way, because this building was rejected twice by the Muslim community wanted to buy it, and they did not. The local community did not want to have a religious organization there in that place. So somehow, with the Lalita Madhava strategy, he made it possible to make it into an educational and residential institution. And in that way, we were able to get that permission. Residential and educational facility. That's why it is called the Bhakti Yoga Institute. It's not because we chose that name. It has a reason behind it, to keep the council pacified about it. And it took many years to be able to have programs programs like we have now, because we were always very cautious not to disturb the local community. Very careful. So we close the windows, we do kirtan very, very quietly. And we could only do, that's why we only do arti at 6 a.m. because of that. Not because we change it. It's because there is a reason for that. 6 a.m. and also after 9 p.m. we cannot make any noise because it's a residential area. Luckily, the temple is in the corner and there is the street dividing from the other row of houses. And on the other side we have the doctor's surgery. So, on the other side we have the parking. So it allows us to do a little rowdy kirtan sometimes. So it's okay in that way. So now it's going to be the 10th anniversary in August, which you are all welcome on the 24th of August. We're having our 10th anniversary since it was opened in 2014. And yes, 10 years. It was 10 years since it was open to the public after a few years of renovation. Because when we got that building, it did not even have one shower. It was actually an office, so the status of the building was just a commercial, for commercial purposes. To switch it from commercial to educational and residential, then Lalita Madhava did all that work. And then we have that status now, not as a religious institution, but as a residential and educational. And so it's a joint effort to have this beautiful temple for Srila Gurudeva. And we hope that he's pleased with the service. We hope that he's happy with it. But yeah, sometimes it can be lots of challenges, but like everywhere. But you know, it happens. Challenges are happening everywhere. It's not just in a temple. We just have to learn how to cope with those challenges, and that is we get the help from our guardians, and how to deal with all kinds of difficulties in our devotional practice. So that is. But we, at that time, I have to mention, at that time, Srila Acharya Maharaj also gave me that service to. So it happens by necessity, really, because when they go that temple, the devotees were living in East London. So I moved to West London, nearby, and by chance it happened that I was nearby, and it was like, by necessity, it happened. Not because I'm qualified, by necessity. So, yes, I'm on. So that is how it happened. So I hope that with your blessings we can continue our devotional service. Jai Srila Gurudeva ki jai. Jai Srila Gurudeva ki jai.
I have 2 mics. This is crazy. I know I have a big mouth, but Dandavats, I offer my obeisances to all of you, all the devotees here and there and all around the world. Anyone who is listening, please accept my humble obeisances, my pranams at your feet. I'm here with all these devotees, and I'm very inspired. I came here to recharge my batteries and to get the nourishment of this beautiful holy place and these beautiful deities that are so special. Huh? Just your affection. So there were a few questions that were asked. What was Gurudev's last instructions? Madhuchanda Devi inspired us so much when she answered them. And then the other question was the deities. Yeah. So I just wanted to say about Gurudev's instruction to me. His main instruction to me, beloved Gurudev, was, please take care of your health. Please take care of your health. Please take care of your health. Every year, how many times in one year? Why he said it so much to me all the time? Please take care of your health. So I was like, why is he always telling me this? Year after year. And one time he pulled my finger, I guess when he was getting his blood pressure or blood sugar tested. He took my finger and he said, come, give me your finger. And he took my finger and he did the whole sugar thing, blood sugar, and he pinched the thing and I said, ow! Of course, it was a loving exchange, and he checked my sugar and he said, oh, your sugar is okay, like that. So I was like, I felt really happy about that. But that was his main instruction to me. And then later, we all know that I got pretty sick here, and, I got the big C. And then I was thinking to myself, now I know why Gurudev kept telling me that. He can see. He can see so much, past, present, and future, So he wanted to make sure that my blood sugar wasn't so high, because that really affects C so much. So I always thought about that. So he was very kind and very concerned and about all of us and all of his daughters and all of his disciples, and very affectionate. So he told me once also, I got this truck donated once here in SoCal, and he said, and I was so fired up about it, and I wanted to make a truck mobile, like a book mobile, and do Sankirtan and take this truck all around and make the back of it like an altar and do Sankirtan. And I was like, Gurudev. And then I jumped up in the back and I said, we can make a book, a library, and go around, distribute books and donations and have little traveling deities there. And he said, she is very enthusiastic, you know. But it didn't happen. The truck broke down and that was that. But he always gave me so much encouragement and happiness and joy. And I guess when I first came, I was introduced as a collector or something like that, or Sankirtan devotee or something. That was like a title, right? In ISKCON, right? And so I guess I don't really actually know, but I think the word got around that I was a fundraiser. And when I first met him in '87, and I always wanted to raise funds for the Central Mott. And so that was my service. And so I decided to raise funds for Gurudev and just give to the Central Mott. And I just always gave to the Central Mott. And he always told us to give to the Central Mott, you know, Sri Navadip Dham. So that's what I did. And then after that, he said, you come and you give your contributions to me directly. And so that was one of his instructions. Give your contributions to me directly. So I got to give it to him directly. And then I was like, okay, well, I was getting so fired up. And so whenever I would come to India, I would end up staying there for a long time. And I was like, this is where all my energy is going. It's going to the Central Dham, to the Mott. And I was just always enthusiastic to try to serve there. And then I got the opportunity to take care of his veranda and Guru Maharaj's veranda and Giriraj Mandir. And, you know, with the help of so many devotees all over the world, the Russian devotees helped with Gurudev's veranda. We did all the windows and engaged so many people and did the painting. And where's Bimal Krishna? Bimal Krishna and I, we painted Gurudev's back bedroom together blue. And he practically did it single-handedly, if he's here. Yeah, Bimal Krishna and all the Russian devotees, we changed all the windows. There were plastic windows in his veranda, and we changed all the windows and put more gook. What is that? You know, the putty? The silicone. You remember the windows in Navadip? They were all like silicone. We had to redo that, take off the old and put the new ones in. And so I kind of helped organize all of that with the Russian devotees, and we did all of that. And, you know, we painted Gurudev's veranda, did the windows, and did so many things. And then reupholstered his couches and cushions and did all of that. And everything really needed to be cared for in India because, you know, the weather situation is really harsh. And so things changed. So got to do all of that, too. And then we got to do Guru Maharaj's veranda too because the devotees were so busy and Bhudev Prabhu was always taking care of Srila Guru Maharaj's veranda, but he was so busy with the deity service. So, you know, I got to help with that. I was just so inspired, you know, when we're younger, we use our energy. We have so much energy and we want to use it. And so we want to use everything for Gurudev's service. When we're in the mission, we have so much mercy coming from above, from him. Nothing is me, nothing is my energy, but it's all his inspiration that he's giving to us. So I just felt really inspired to just want to serve the Central Mott in any way I could. And so I think that's how things evolved through helping with the verandas. Both verandas. I remember we had to pulley the couch down in Guru Maharaj's veranda because we couldn't get it down the narrow stairs of Srila Guru Maharaj. We had to put it over the thing and got to reupholster all the chairs, repaint the whole veranda, and also with Gurudev's veranda too. got to reupholster the couches and everything like that. But this service was so enlivening because we're serving Gurudev and it was so beautiful. And what am I going to do when I'm in India? I was like, what can I do? What am I supposed to do? What is my service when we go to the Dham? You know, I mean, we have a lot of preaching facility when we're here in the Western world. We can go out and go to concerts and football games and, raise funds and talk to people on the streets and the DMVs and do all this stuff. But what do we do when we go to India? So we try to serve as much as we can. And all of us, we like to clean, and I love to clean in India, and so that also happened too. So also I like to make jewelry, and so got to help Gurudev with the jewelry for the deities there. But anyway, it's all Gurudev's mercy. It's all his influence on our hearts and his affectionate guidance and his inspiration. And, we just all got to be used as his loving instrument. And the more you serve, the more you want to serve, And, we were just serving our hearts out, And we would do anything and everything to serve the mission in Gurudev. And we had Madhusudan Maharaj there who was giving us so much inspiration to do things when we were in the mat. We would pick up on the energy of all the other devotees. We would, we'd work off each other's inspiration. And it was just wonderful. We were so enlivened in our spiritual life. And we still are. That's why we're still here. We're all getting older now, but we're so enlivened to try to do and continue all of this for Gurudev's pleasure. And like my God sisters have said, and we all know this, Gurudev is present. He's here. And when we're talking about him, it says it in the Bhagavad Gita, that where my devotees are talking about me, I'm present. So where we're talking about Gurudev and we're glorifying him and we're remembering him, he's here. He's present with us. He's giving us inspiration. And he's giving us our love and affection. And he is so kind. He's so merciful. And he doesn't see our bad qualities, Like Saraswati Devi said, she said that Gurudev hates to hear anything bad about anybody. Don't even come there and complain to him about anyone. Like he said, we are my religion is to find fault with myself. And believe me, I have enough faults for me to think of about myself than anyone else. Don't be a sewer inspector. Is that what it is? Drain inspector. Look for the good in everybody. You don't want people going around and seeing all your nonsense and your heartaches and your bad things that you feel are bad. So you want to see the good in everyone and bring that out. Bring all out that good nature. So that's what we're all trying to do here. Follow Gurudev's instructions, follow his example, his affection, his guidance, his beauty. He was very funny. He always made us laugh and Anyway, I did want to say something. I said something about the jewelry because she mentioned the deities. And so that's why I said about the jewelry, because I was thinking I got to make the jewelry for the deities in Sri Navadweep and other places and try to help with the wigs. So we try to assist with the service, whatever we could do, which is kind of like a little bit of an expertise in material life. We try to use that talent. Everybody's trying to use their talent for Krishna. So we try to use that in the service to Gurudev. So I got to do those things and learn from the devotees that are perfected in it, like Shwaranangi, with the deities and, the hair and everything. And, Gurudev was, all these good qualities are all coming from him. And he's bringing them out in our heart. So, I'm sorry I'm going around in circles, but it's just very enlivening to think about the mission over the years and what we've been through and all the beautiful service that we've we had the opportunity, the good fortune, the above good fortune to do for his pleasure. And so I don't want to take too much time. So I know we have to go, but if anybody has any questions about anything, I could try to answer one or two really quick before we stop. I have 5 minutes still. Oh, okay. 10. Let's see. Does anyone have any questions they want to ask about anything, about the mission or about me with Gurudev?
Okay. I just want to respond to some of the things that Divya Shakti said. It was a long list, and it sounds like a lot of work, but all of us have been to India, and to perform those tasks in India is at least 4 or 5 times harder than it is in our own countries. And what she did was extraordinary. And it's just shocking, because I know when I go to India, I'm useless. I can hardly do anything. To get your clothes washed is huge. What to speak of construction, and you did so much. And I want to say one more thing, is one day we were sitting and Gurudev said, with these 2 girls pointing at Divya Shakti and Uma, he said I could run the whole mission. Divya Shakti ki jai.
¿Quieres decir algo?
No, estaba yo escuchando a Saraswati Devi que cuando Gurudev dijo, ¿no? Si los demás no pueden, yo puedo.
I was just listening to what Saraswati was saying about when Gurudev said, if I can't do it, I can. Wait, what?
Si los demás no pueden, yo puedo. Fue lo que
When
dijo
she said,
Saraswati Devi.
if nobody else can do it, I can do it.
¿No?
Que Gurudev dice que uno puede, si uno tiene esa fuerza interna, uno puede hacer las cosas.
Ah, claro, pero él dijo, si los demás no pueden, yo puedo. Y entonces
Lo que
fue pues
ella
lo
dijo.
que
No, que
Sobre-
Saraswati
sí,
había dicho, bueno,
sobre-
si no pueden, yo lo puedo hacer,
No,
¿no?
lo que él dijo,
Eso fue lo que dijiste.
Dijiste 2 puntos.
no, un punto fue que él dice que uno tiene esa fuerza interna para hacer las cosas, refiriéndose al servicio. You want to translate that?
Yeah, so there's 2 points of what's being asked here. One point that Saraswati had said is that if you don't
You feel,
if you don't feel like you have the strength, you don't feel confident,
Gurudev always says, yes, you can.
Gurudev always says, yes, you can.
So Gurudev give us that inner strength
Gurudev gives us that inner strength
to do our service.
to do our service for him. Well, you're saying it in English.
Okay.
Lo hiciste en inglés, y ella en inglés y la en español.
I forgot. I don't know anymore.
You translate for her.
I know. I'm like, who am I talking to? ¿Entendiste?
Sí,
Okay,
sí, sí,
shit.
sí. Pero es lo mismo, ¿no? Cuando estábamos en la Ciudad de México, en la casa de Lakshmi Rani Didi,
When we were in the city of Mexico in Lakshmi Rani's house,
y Sri Gurudev dijo, yo quisiera o quiero un centro de prédica o un templo en cada lugar donde haya devotos.
and Gurudev had said, I want a preaching center in every place where there are devotees.
Y él dibujó con su puño y letra un cuadrito donde nada más había el Nad Mandir y una cocina.
And
Dice, si ustedes tienen esto,
He drew with his own hand in a little square the kind of like the diagram for what it could look like, and it was a Nat Mandir and a kitchen. And he said, if you only have a Nat Mandir and a kitchen,
y entonces cuando él se retiró, yo tomé ese papelito y lo guardé.
and
Y
when
di-
he left, I took that piece of paper and I saved it.
y dijo, si tú lo quieres, eso va a suceder.
Y tú dijiste eso.
Sí.
And I said, if you want this, it will happen.
Y así fue. Durante
that's how it
10
went.
años busqué un terreno para poder construir el templo que él quería, deseaba y que él lo iba a hacer.
And in the duration of 10 years, I looked and looked for a temple so that I could do what he desired, what he wanted, and what he I knew he would
Sí, sí,
achieve
sí.
in doing.
Él lo iba a hacer.
He
Y
was
con
gonna do
esa
it.
idea, así buscamos el terreno, conseguimos el terreno, pero él lo consiguió, él lo buscó y él lo hizo.
And with that idea, we looked for the land, we found the land, but he looked for it, he found it, and he did it.
Jai Gurudev, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj, Ki Jai, todos sus devotos reunidos, Ki Jai.
Madhuchanda Devi Ki Jai. Veracruz Temple Ki Jai. Veracruz is beautiful. That temple is Is this on? That temple is amazing.
True.
In Veracruz. Unbelievable. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, all devotees. Please, let's give one more time for our beautiful Srimati Kalindi Devi, Srimati Vaidehi Devi, Srimati Madhuchanda Devi, Srimati Saraswati Devi, Srimati Divya Shakti Devi Ki Jai. So this class is not over because the daughters of Gurudeva are so many and so giving so much. We're gonna have a second shift here. Give me us 3 minutes and we're gonna restart now. And I'm gonna announce them when they're on the stage. But keep here and keep your energy.
Un momento.
Todas las ladies reunidas que hoy son las hijas de Gurudev. Gurudev amaba a sus hijas. Aquí están.
Introducción.
Oh, okay, ya tengo. All of the ladies that are here are the daughters of Gurudev. Dilo por otra vez, perdón. Gurudev loved his daughters very much, and here they are.
Todas sus hijas reunidas aquí.
All his daughters united
Sorry,
here.
sorry, gentlemen, sorry.
Sorry, gentlemen.
Él dijo que sus predilectas eran sus hijas.
¿Cómo?
Él dijo siempre que sus predilectas eran sus hijas.
¿Qué es predilectas?
Queridas, favoritas.
That his favorites were always his daughters. Srila Gurudev said. And then that's why I was distracted because I heard what Dina Bandhu, he said technically we're all his daughters.
Jai Dina Bandhu Prabhu Ki Jai.
Gracias, Madre. Thank you so much. Now we're gonna do a little switch. And then you can ask questions. Pode hacer perguntas ahora.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Bimala.
If I think ahead, I'll just put a cough drop, or at least have one in my pocket. It helps. Oh, she's probably going to walk around. There's stairs on that side if you want, Dean.
The last one.
Yeah, it's easier for you.
Yeah, just because of the bones.
Dandavats devotees, are we ready for another treat from Srila Gurudeva's hand? This is the second part of the class from Srila Gurudeva daughters. And now we have a beautiful crew in the stage, and I will ask you to help me to welcome them to this class. Can you do that? Yeah, woohoo! Okay. Let's start with Govinda. 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 Jai, very good. So here in the stage, please help me to welcome Srimati Braja Mohini Devi from Utah and from around the world, because she's all over. Dandavats. And Srimati Krishna Kanta Devi from Italy. And Srimati Sri Lekha Devi from Canada. And the world. Yeah. And Srimati Shiranangi Devi from Canada and Sebastian. And Srimati Bimala Devi from Italy, Brazil, and Sebastian.
Multinational. Everywhere.
So this class is about Srila Gurudeva's, taking care of Srila Gurudeva's mission, deities, and devotees, and they are the true experts. So I'm gonna ask Shiranangi to host us and start our class today. Oh dear. Okay. Everybody, let's start this class. Dandavats.
I need a question.
Question? I have a question.
Yes.
Same last. What was Srila Gurudeva's last instruction for you?
Last instruction?
Last instruction. In instruction that you want to share.
One of the most powerful ones that's impacted my life was when he first started traveling. Many of you know my husband and I both came from ISKCON. We were disciples of Srila Prabhupada. And we went through that whole phase and of losing our guru. And then through many close friends, we were introduced to Guru Maharaj, but we never had the fortune of meeting Srila Guru Maharaj in person. We met him through his devotees. And then we came to the San Jose temple, and right around the time Guru Maharaj left. And then when Gurudev started traveling, when we met him for the first time, it's like your heart just opened. And it's like I remember tears, and I remember going to Sagar Maharaj and thanking him so desperately for arranging for Gurudev to come to the West, and feeling like I didn't think my heart could feel that again, to feel that connection with that kind of Vaishnava. And after that, that was it. He captured us. And then he gave instruction on that first tour to find some property. He had visited Santa Cruz, Shruta Shravan Sanatan. He lived in Santa Cruz. He came down here for a visit for the day, did a program. And he instructed, and then they got evicted. And he didn't understand the laws. Like in India, if you're in place, you've got more rights than the people that own the property. But that wasn't so here. When he found out that they were going to be forced out of their home, then he found out that the home in San Jose, which Brajamohini and Jayanta now own, was rented also, and Mahaprabhu could be evicted. He was like, no, Mahaprabhu needs to own his own property. And he drew a circle, and he said about 5 acres somewhere between San Jose and Santa Cruz. And the mission went on, and eventually we ended up with this place. And that became our mission. We wanted to be closer and we wanted to be more involved. And the tours were coming pretty often. And we tried, after we got this property, we tried really hard to move into, we had a big house, and we tried to move into a smaller house and get closer and reduce our commitments for rent and overhead and all that. And so we'd have more time, energy to spend here. And first time in our lives, we'd been turned down. Everywhere we applied, we were turned down. But we told Gurudev, this is our goal. We want to simplify our lives so we can put more energy here. And he goes, better if you move on to the property. And we were like, what? You know, I mean, that was not in our thought process at all. We had a 12-year-old boy. I was like, how does a family live here? How does that work? But that was his request. So then that was our mission. And we found an old trailer that was temporary till some better housing came around. That's been 31 years now. And, but that was just it. And then we got here and we figured it out and we got a little settled. And then the next visit he came, okay, Gurudev, we're here. And he goes, now my request to you both is you never leave this mission. And in my mind, I'm, you know, a little rascal and thinking, the worldwide mission, you know? But it was like, no, here, never leave here. And so that became our life. And that changed my life completely because everyone knows there's always difficulties and challenges and things come up. And this is a big property. There's a lot of devotees and there's a lot of challenges. And sometimes your mind is just your worst enemy. And it's like, why are you here? You know, the difficulties seem too great. And it's like, nope, this is where you're supposed to be. There's no doubt you're supposed to be here because you got this direct request from your guru to be here. And that has just saved me because I've had to navigate difficult moments in my life. And it's like, no, this is where I'm supposed to be. I have to adjust myself around that instruction. I'm supposed to be here. My lesson is here. And I'm just so grateful for that because I have no doubt of what I'm supposed to do. I might do it all imperfectly. And I've gone through moments where it's like, just stay. Just stay. That's all you got to do is just stay. Don't leave, you know. And you get pushed to that. But you make it through and you just try and embrace his teachings to us, to be humble, to be tolerant, to give honor. When you're around him, it's so easy. I mean, everyone's in their best. They're lifted up by him to be the best that they can be, and it's just no challenge. But when he's gone, then the challenges come, and that's, you know, our practice in life is to learn how to incorporate those things that he gave us, those instructions he gave us. And if we do that, if we can really surrender to it, like we were just talking about it, that's the thing, is to surrender to it. Then all the doors will open, everything will become clear how to move forward. And I remember one visit to India, the first thing you do is you go up and you get a little cleaned up, but you go see Gurudev. And he was giving darshan. There were many devotees there, and I paid my dandavats. When I came up, he was talking, and he said, actually, with tolerance, there's no limit. I was like, oh, my God, I'm never going to get there. But it's just really, it's the only way. He said that so many times. It's the only way. And we really need each other to help each other in our difficult times to remember that that's the solution. It's not about blaming the environment. It's not what's going on around us. That's what the fault is. Correct that, everything will be good. You're in a situation because there's a lesson for you, and all you can do about it is adjust yourself. And those tools will help you adjust yourself to be humble. Am I being humble? Am I pushing my own ego forward, or am I surrendering to what the situation that Krishna's put me in and allow it to be revealed of what my next step forward is, how to make harmony? He was the most expert at harmonizing every situation for every person. And that's my probably most prominent memory with Gurudev, is that particular instruction has just saved me and changed my life for the better. So I'm very grateful for that.
We're all grateful.
Which way am I going here?
Yes.
Bimo?
Vimala, would you like to share a few minutes?
Yeah. Actually, you said it in a way that doesn't is not me at all. Who is gonna share something here is Gurudeva, because it depends on me. What can I share? Yes, I can be here, and because Gurudeva is sharing something, and I am always praying to Gurudeva. Please, Gurudeva, give me guidance, teach me what to do. And as Madhuchanda Devi said, that she's always consulting with Gurudeva. I am, Gurudeva is like, oh, Bimala, more and more. I'm now asking Gurudeva, always, what to do, Gurudeva? What do you want me to do? What do I do with the situation? Okay, they told me to be there. I am the last one that should be sitting here, and I am not feeling well. I've been going through some difficulties, and at the moment, I didn't know it yesterday. They just told me this morning. And I wasn't well. I didn't sleep well. And I say, maybe I cannot do it. Then I remember, wait a minute. You are not going to do it. Gurudeva wants that seva. That is a seva. And he wants it. And for seva, I will always say yes, no matter what. That's why I asked Gurudeva, can I be in the suicidal squad? And he really liked it. And and I go like this, really, literally in San Jose, in a crowd, many people there. And I go like this, and he said, yeah, she wants to be in the suicidal squad. And sure enough, suicidal squad came. And meaning, actually, difficulties does not exist. Who makes difficulties? It's ourselves. Suicidal squad, what does it mean? It's full mercy. And I didn't know. I was asking to Gurudeva, can you give me full mercy, overflowing mercy? And it came. And then all of a sudden I said, oh my God, what to do now? And, many things changed. And all difficulties, when I was in the middle of those difficulties, collecting at the airport, I wasn't aware of them. And it was not me. I would wake up that day, every day, and say, Gurudeva, now we're going to the airport. You do everything, Gurudeva. I cannot. You're going to do all the dealings there. And sure enough, I mean, it's like, I feel saying like this is me, is not about me. It's because I am in it, and I want to say, how is it that Gurudeva, as these all are saying, is always there with you. He's always there. And really, lately I've been going through some trials. And I'm always remember, Gurudeva, but you are here with me. What to do? How? You do it. And so, it's not, I mean, that is part of something natural and spontaneous. And I really see that that's more how my nature is. I will just do things in the very natural way. I'm not really going about this rule, that rule, but amazing thing that what is needed, purity that's needed, that will come. If you focus, you like this, that, this rule, that rule. When I started doing seva here at the mission, I was always out collecting airport, DMV, these all concerts, everyone, DMV from Monday to Monday, 8 hours, 9 hours, non-stop. I would get a power bar meanwhile I was talking with people and say, okay, I have to chew this and talk with this, all things. But that's amazing that you can see it's not you. That we can see the beauty of being in this, what they call Krishna consciousness, that actually it is Vaishnavism. And what is Vaishnavism? Vaishnavism is you are the eternal servant of the Lord. But in which mood? With love and devotion. That love and devotion, it makes the whole difference. So it gives you a little bit of that tenderness. Even in the battlefield, you can just go, and it's not you. And that is not going to be even harsh. It's going to be what's necessary, and still it's going to be nice, and still it's going to be beautiful. Because I could see the situation I was, it looked like there was some disagreements, but it wasn't. At the end, these people would just turn your friend. What can I do to you? And they would say, wait, sir, talk with this lady here. She's the real deal here. She's the real deal. And actually, they want to kill me. They want to, not literally, but they say, I'm going to beat you up. How come everybody just give to you? And I say, well, you just ask, sir, can you talk with them? Good people, they're doing. Oh, then, meaning, Gurudeva did teach us to us. Don't make enemies, make friends. I always remember one instruction that Gurudeva say, don't make enemies, make friends. He says, I do not have enemy. All are my friends, and I believe everybody. So these are things that we carry with us. And when I was told this morning that I should be here, and I say, you know what, Gurudeva, what would you like to say to all these beautiful people? You just, I can just convey that. And that conveying that means, because I wanted to be in the suicidal squad, and because the seva of collecting came to me, and I embraced it, because I knew collection is not collection. Collection is everything. Collection is what it means to help the mission, to help the deities, to boga, to everything. Everything is included there. So it's not that you are out there asking people to give some money, because that's not some money. They are very, they'll fight for that. They will have a job all day long, 8 hours, to get that money, that salary. They are giving their blood for that salary. And they're going to give a little bit, a lot, doesn't matter. They may know, they may not know, also doesn't matter, because that transaction is between that soul and Gurudeva. And the Lord, saintly, clean channel. So because of that, I always do collection, even now. I did it last time, all the concerts, there were many hours. One time I was really sick. I had a very big flu, and was not well yet. But what did I do? Yes, I'm going. And that day was my best day. Dealing with people, all this. The people themselves were helping me. They were saying to others, you line up, she's going to talk to you. Don't crowd her. Just listen to her. Line up here, you next. And he had a big voice. Calm down. And that really, I was able to speak with so many people, because that gentleman was my assistant. And I have never seen him before. So, those kind of arrangements, you can see, immediately I can see, it's Gurudeva. Many times, as they said, if you think you can't, yes, you can. And why you can? Because it's not you that is doing that. Don't you forget. Gurudeva is always with you. Gurudeva is always with us. So it's not us. I'm not going to do. Maybe in my before meeting Gurudeva, I thought I was doing things. But no, I quickly got it. I'm not doing anything. Gurudeva is. And up to now, I am always consulting with Gurudeva. 24 hours a day. Gurudeva, and now what we do? Gurudeva, and this happened now. When, and I feel, I'm not shy to say that, because it looks a little bit like strange. But that's for all of us. That's for all of us, consulting with Gurudeva, and situation that we cannot understand and we think we are completely lost in it, we are not. Because always we say, okay, Gurudeva, this is how I'm feeling. And as I say that, and as I think I can see some perspective, I can see. And my main thing is that I really like to deal with the people with the heart. And I pray for that. And I say, Gurudeva, how can I help your mission? By example. By being, I may not say words, but they will see by example what it means. And if I have to say some word, may I say words that you would say. Nice, sweet, encouraging. And I am praying for that. And I mean, and if you are praying for that, it's manifesting already because it's desiring in the heart. So I'm saying to all of you, let's keep this in our heart as a beautiful message from our Gurudeva. He is very happy with this mission here, with all the seva. Now I'm doing also seva in the altar. I was doing before all the arati, except Mongol arati, and sometimes I would come on Friday night to be here to do the Mongol arati the next day, meaning suicidal squad, anything is needed, I run that. I don't look, my list is here in the board. No, why? That's many times I'm saying that's you're not doing some job. You are doing seva, and seva is a blessing. Seva is a grace of the Lord. So let's remember that and always carry in our heart that that activity is going to be personified. What we read in the scripture, what we heard, all is going to be there manifest in your attitudes. And you showing your attitude in love and affection with each other and being grateful for all that Gurudeva is always for each one of us, according like he's a doctor, and he's going to give that prescribed little drops of that homeopathic medicine according to what we need. So we are very fortunate and grateful. Thank you very much for tolerating. I even don't know what to say, but as I said, Gurudev is giving to you all what is necessary for all of us. So my gratitude to all. Please continue to bless me and your grace and mercy. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh dear, I have a microphone for you guys.
The same question. Is there any other question? Any question that anyone wants to discuss? So we've been asked to point out a particular instruction that came from Gurudev. Sometimes the instruction is very subtle, and it's coming into the heart and manifesting over many years. Sometimes we don't know. I mean, we don't. You know, we have the book Search for Sri Krishna, Reality the Beautiful, and we can all say something about Krishna. And we can all say something about Gurudev, but we're searching for him still. Srila Guru Maharaj said that the holy name lives in Trinadapi Sunichena. That is the platform, the plane of existence in which the holy name lives. So we are trying to come to that position gradually through all the instructions that are coming to us from all directions in our lives, coming to the platform of really living in humility and tolerance and giving honor and not wanting honor, because that's where the name lives. Otherwise, it is the shadow of the name. So we are searching, we're all searchers for that beautiful heart, for that beautiful soul who is Gurudev, and who we can't, so I can say some things he told me. And one time I was feeling quite a lot of difficulty in some situation that I had to understand, and I was in Navadvip. And I went to Srila Gurudeva. First he said, as soon as he saw me, he said, take rest. So I went back. Then he asked Bhakti Lalita Didi, what's the matter with Sri Lanka? And then she told him. And then when he saw me, he gave me an instruction. he said, you can go anywhere, you can do anything. I mean, I'm just going to tell you what he said. We all know that he has high hopes for us, but he said, anything you do will be good for Krishna. He said, but don't explain your actions to anyone. Whatever you do it. You don't have to tell anyone what you're doing or why you're doing it. But once in a while, you report to me and tell me where you are. And then he said, and serve until the last moment of your life. So what that service is, I don't know, because we're just learning how to be a servant. And the depth of Krishna consciousness is so much. You know, the Lord is infinite. We're saying he's infinite. What does that mean? How will we know that when our ego is opposing what he is arranging for us? We are placing him within the limits of what I think he should be doing or what he should be. Like, he should just be in the temple and behave himself and make good arrangements for my life. Yeah, I'll come visit him once in a while. But he is an autocrat. Do we have any conception of what that means? It means he's lawless. There is nothing restricting his behavior at all. Guru Maharaj said he's reckless, lawless, and an aggressor. And he is, nothing bad can come from him. That is the definition of an autocrat. The real autocrat can do no harm. Everything about him is auspicious. And as we are trying to practice surrender, as we are trying to practice bowing down to the hardest things that come to me and saying, yes, my Lord, you are the cause of all causes. Do I believe that? Do I believe that? Or do I just want to preach it? Do I believe that nothing can happen that you don't want to happen? I must believe it. I bow down to you and I say, yes, this is good for me, my Lord. What you have arranged is good for me. And I cannot understand where you are taking me because I don't know what that is. I've never been there. So I have to trust him. And by bowing down, we find out that there is an angle of vision which was wrong in me, and the whole environment has come as a loving guardian to change that angle of vision. The whole existence is divine. It is only because I'm rotten and I wanted to exploit this divine energy that I can't see it. And so I'm suspicious. But we are learning what Krishna consciousness is. If we think that Krishna is everywhere, and we say that he is everywhere, and we hear that he is everywhere, but how is that? His will is everywhere, and his will is golden. It's beauteous, it's sweetness, and it is all pervading. And we are just a little unit of we're in solitary confinement of our own ego. And like Bimala was saying, when you pray, Gurudev, what shall I do when you meet a person? Guru Maharaj said, nothing can happen that he doesn't want to happen. Meaning, if this leaf is going this way or this way, is of infinite significance. Meaning it's a manifestation of infinite will. We can live in that. We can begin to see the environment that way. And by coming into, if Guru Maharaj said, if a man passes in front of you, it's because the Lord wanted that to happen. There's nothing random, and only divine Siddhanta is scientific. Everything else is childish. They say they're science, but they think it's all random, actually. That random things can happen is non-science. Only in Vaishnava Siddhanta, in the line of Rupa Goswami, Srila Saraswati Thakur, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Gurudeva, that is where we find science. There is not a single random thing in existence. It is all full of deepest and deeper meaning, and we must find that in our daily existence. So that instruction came. He also told me on many occasions that he wanted me to sit and speak, and a couple of times I actually turned him down. I was like, no. But then he I was giving some classes on the Samadhi Mandir. I'm giving the class, blah, blah, whatever. We're reading or what. But we were studying Brahma Samhita, and somehow I started getting a doubt because I don't know how to pronounce Sanskrit. Maybe I'm just making a mess of things. So I went upstairs to ask him about it. And I said, Gurudev, I think, every day we're doing this. Yes, I know. And maybe I shouldn't be doing it because I don't know how to do it properly. And then he said, do you know this verse, this particular verse? Alola Chandrakala Sadhavananma. And I'm like, oh, Gurudev, I'm really shy to say this in front of you. He said, why? It's not your native language. So he made me say this verse in front of him. And then he gave me a lot of encouragement. Just, it's very good, you go on. And then we realize that we are beloved. We're not orphans anymore on the mean streets of exploitation, eating out of the garbage cans of the objects of the senses. We've got our guardians, and they're very affectionate to us. They're encouraging us from where we are, and they're so loving, and the whole environment. I'm just going to say this one last thing. By the grace of Gurudev, somehow or other, from time to time, just by remembering when we see something beautiful, that it is for you, my Lord. This exists not for me. It exists for you, and I exist for you. The ego doesn't want you to do that, believe me. You see some beautiful sunrise or some lovely mountain stream or something, you want to be the enjoyer of that. That's nasty. It's a nasty relationship. So sometimes I would remember, this is yours. This is only for you. This is not like it's yours and it's so nice, so I'm enjoying it and glorifying you for giving me this. It's not like that. It's completely the opposite. It's only for you. And then sometime a whole other view of things would come. And we could see that this is not matter. It's made of a higher thing than I am made out of. And full of affection. This, the last thing is I was leaving Navadvip. I was very conflicted because Gurudev said it would be nice if I would stay, but the summer was coming and I suffer so much from the heat. I'd stopped eating, I was just like, I didn't think I was going to get through the summer. So I finally went to him. He said, what did you decide? And I said, Gurudev, I think I should go back to London. He said, yes, you're getting very thin. And I said, but I'm afraid that the trees will be disappointed with me because the trees in Navadvip are really affectionate. And he said, no, they will not be disappointed with you. He said, these trees are very affectionate. So we are trying to change our angle of vision. That we are not the subject, and that is my object. That is called the material world. It's all in my own eye. It's not out there. This is not the material world. And then the spiritual world is like you go 10 billion miles past the Milky Way and turn left at the... It's not a matter of distance. It's time and distance, Guru Maharaj, are within the mind. Those are mental constructs. But we must learn to be in the environment of divinity, and it is everywhere. Reality is not somewhere else. It is everywhere. And we need to get away from this chidabhas of the exploitation shadow and come in consonance. And this is our journey. It's our journey. So, dhanavad to everybody. Jai. Thank you. Oh, come on. Oh my gosh.
Can I ask you a question?
No, I know what to say.
Okay.
Actually, I don't know where to start. It's just, and I have actually so many things pop up in my mind. Before I was like blank. I don't know what will I talk about. But then, all these beautiful Vaishnavas and inspire me. And so many memories comes to mind when you are with the devotees that, and I'm thinking how so many things happened and how everything started. I was so fortunate to just go into India and meet Srila Gurudeva. I don't understand my fortune. Still, I'm trying to figure out, to estimate the fortune I had that year that, just by chance I went to Navadvip Dham and then speaking about the instruction, I was thinking, then I was there with Sita and my visa expired. After going to India, stay 6 months. I could only have 6 months visa. Then we tried to have an extension. Remember that? And we went to Kathmandu to get a new visa, but it was a complete disaster. The guy was a very bad guy, we have to say. He didn't give us the visa. He treated us very badly. And anyway, then we were stuck in Kathmandu because Sita lost her passport. Yes, they stole her passport at the visa office, yeah. Anyway, so we were stuck there, and we alternate. She was crying in the morning, I think, and I was crying in the evening, or the opposite, maybe the opposite. Anyway, so for days we were crying because we didn't get our visa. And then
You couldn't go back to India.
And we couldn't go back to India until, I don't remember now exactly, she got some paper, something. Then finally we were back, and we're back to see Gurudev, and both crying. and then I remember this instruction of Gurudev. Then I was crying at his feet, and he put his hand on my head like this, and don't cry. Now go back to your country, preach to your friends. And one day I shall come to Italy. I want to go to Rome, he said. So, okay, I had that instruction. Then I went back, and with Munindra Prabhu, we started to translate books and preaching, we published, the first book was Home Comfort in Italian and Inner Fulfillment. And then we start translating and publishing and distributing that. And so from that instruction, then we start, and then I don't know how long, I'm very bad with dates, but after, then I was staying in Italy 6 months, getting some money, and go back to India, stay 6 months in India with Gurudev. And then one day we are in Puri,
And Gurudev is kind of planning his world tour or something, and again he mentioned he wants to go to Rome. And Premanidi was there, and he was that time like involved into organizing Srila Gurudev's tour, and then somehow came up like Gurudev asked, I want to go to Rome, and it was like, okay, we invite Gurudev to Rome. And then Premanidi said, I will help you. And then I remember in going back to Italy that year to Munindra's Prabhu, and I told him, Gurudev is coming, we don't have a minute to waste. We have to organize things. And we were so young and unexperienced, we didn't know how to do anything. And remember then Braja comes in the picture. Yeah. And then Braja came to Italy, and a friend, the brother of my friend, Sandy, he gave his van. You remember? It was this very hippie van, a Volkswagen orange with this, the old, the 70s, Volkswagen, the hippie Volkswagen van. How do you, Bus, okay. And so we had these 2 books published that time, was On Comfort and Inner Fulfillment, and we printed a lot, and we packed the van with those books, and we traveled all over Italy. We drove all over Italy with the van and stopped in some friend's house sometimes, or like in a tent, sleeping anywhere, and distributing books in the offices, the house, and invitation. We printed invitation because Gurudev was coming. And we found with Mohita Krishna, who's now not with us anymore, he found a place where to host the festival. Was a castle, very expensive. That time was like I tell you in lira is 1,200,000 lira per day. And it was like maybe a 7 or 10 days meeting, 7 days maybe. Anyway, we got indebted for for many years. We had to pay that, especially Mohita. But we got this place, this castle, and so many devotees came from all over. It's 600 euros now, but for us, we didn't have a job. We were like broken, Anyway, it was a lot of money for us, plus everything else, the expenses, this, that. Anyway, so that is how it started. And Gurudev came to Italy, and that place was near Rome. And later we find out it was actually the very center of Italy. There was a sign, and at Narni, that place, he said, this is the center of Italy, like geographically or something. I don't know how they figure out, and so it was like spot in the center. Gurudev just land in the center of Italy. And then, of course, we took him to Rome for a preaching program and to see Rome. And in that occasion, then Gurudev said, try to make a permanent center here. Because that place was very beautiful. It has a very big hall that was nicely decorated. And anyway, and so he said that, try to make a permanent center. And since he said that, we just gone crazy, me and Munindra. We started, from that day to look all over for a place suitable to make a center. And, we saw so many things, so many options, and land, or maybe this, that. We try to figure out how to do that. And then this is a little bit like a history. Then we were in India, and at some point, and then the first meeting was Hasya Priya came. When Gurudev came to Rome, Hasya Priya with Vaidehi and Yudamanyu Prabhu, and Radhika, and who else? And maybe Vidura? No. Yudamanyu, yes, Yudamanyu. Anyway, what's happened that they were supposed to be hosting in Mohita's place, which is near Rome, but at last minute they say, no, I can't do that. So they were staying in our place, which was like una stalla, how do you say? A very small. Like a studio. Yeah, like a studio. Like a few months before, there were cows there. It was very little place. Yeah, and anyway, So there was no actually bed to sleep. I remember Hasepriya maybe was sleeping on the table outside, on the table in the veranda outside, because Yudamanyu was very much snoring. And the above part was still like the place where, because it was a, ¿cómo se dice stall en inglés? Stall, cow stall, just, yeah. So Muninder fixed the ground floor, he put wood and something, and we were living there. But the first floor was still with where the people used to keep the straw, the food for the animals. And it was still not done, nothing, it was like very like rough, like this with cement, and so some devotee was sleeping there. We have no bathroom. It was really like a situation. Anyway, and then they tried to rent a big car, and the biggest car in Italy is like half of the normal car here. And so anyway, to bring things Borga there to the festival that was going to be in Rome. It was really fun. And in that occasion, I remember, because we have no space to sleep, then I asked my friend, who lives in this nice place, I asked, please, can you host me and my friend, you were there, of course, me, Braja, and Vaidehi, can you host us in your house because we have no space? And then I thought, and I told Munindra, I'm going to ask Sandy to host us there, so it will become an ashram. Because already we have seen that place was like suitable to make an ashram. And they were my hippie friends living there. And so this is what I said, just came out of my mouth. And later became Villa Govinda. It's like, I thought, like, I let the devotee will sleep there, they will purify the place, and it will be conquered, And years after, then we were in India, and a phone call came from one lady living in that place. She said, do you know what's happening? They are selling this place. Because the lady who owned it died, and his nephew, like, they inherited, and they didn't know what to do with it. They live in another side, and so they decided to sell. And so we were like, wow, we went very excited, but we have no job, we have no money, but still we're thinking, we're going to buy it. and then, it's a whole story how it came that we got a mortgage. Like Shamasundar Prabhu, Jayashri's husband, came into helping us. He was the only one with a job that he could show some paper. Because otherwise it was just me, Munindra Prabhu, and Madhurananda and Shantimoi. They also had, like, not really, like, they have a job, but very little, nothing significant, But then Shamasundar came, he is the guy, he's the engineer, he has a serious job. Anyway, so we tried to get a mortgage from the bank, presenting ourselves like a group of friends, and they say, okay, where you think you're going? We're not gonna give you anything. And then we hire an geometer, an architect to divide the property into 3 apartments. And then the same people, we present ourselves as couples that we want to have a nice family life, and we're gonna buy an apartment for us to live and enjoy the life. Because the project of the ashram, they didn't give any credit to that. But when we present ourselves as couples who want to have, then okay. And then we got 3 mortgage, each, like me and Munindra, and Shantimoi and Madhurananda, they pretend to be a couple. They are not, they never been, but they just pretend. We're gonna, nice, have a nice life. And then Shamasundar, he was like good enough to get a mortgage. So this way we got mortgage from the bank, 15 years, and we already paid that off. So now it's been 20 years since we have Villa Govinda. And then we always felt like a lacking of some spiritual preceptor there, let's say, because we are always busy doing things. We barely have any time to give to the devotees when they come, And for many years we have to do everything, like renovation, the Sunday feast, cooking, preaching, doing kirtan, everything, gardening, everything ourselves. And we always felt like, oh my gosh, how long can we go on just doing everything ourselves? And then just recently, and Gurudev in the beginning, he asked, do you want deities here? And, I was so overwhelmed already. I said, no. I said, no. We had Giriraj, and we thought, no, deity will be too much. And Lalita was there with me also when he asked that. And he said, no, Gurudev, this way is very nice. Like, just leave it this way. But Gurudev gave the measurement of the deities, how they're supposed to be, the altar, what's supposed to be. And, one day, like Radha Krishna Mahaprabhu may come. Yes.
Can you say something about when Gurudev first came there?
Oh, yes.
See the place?
Oh, yes. Okay. Then we finally got this place, and also to get the mortgage before we actually buy it. We did so much work. We renovated the kitchen. We still didn't. It was an hour, but we cleared the property. It was just so much bush. Yes, it was like looking abandoned. Yeah. So because a man would come from the bank to estimate the value. So we want to bring it up to get more money from the bank, because we don't have to give the down payment. Anyway, so then finally we got, and Gurudev, and then we invited Gurudev, and everyone knows I was like, just have the bone marrow transplant. So I was bald with mask, and it was very like, and actually the doctor told me, you cannot be in the middle of many people, you have to be in isolation. And then I thought Gurudev will come in October, but then he said, I can come in August. And it was like just out of the hospital, the last injection in my back, and it was like, but how can you say no? I cannot. I said, okay. And then 150, 200 people came. It was great. And then I was staying in the trailer with Lalita. I was staying there with her. And it was fun. And then Sita, you were there in the first, yes, with Banavi, small. Anyway, and so Gurudev came there, and it was beautiful. Well, what can I say? I mean, more than beautiful. So many devotees were there, Shrutashvara Prabhu, and Siddhanti Maharaj, and Acharya Maharaj, Tirtha Maharaj, Goswami Maharaj for just a few days, because I think his father left his body that year, so he has to go. And I think Janardhan Maharaj, so many devotees were there. And and it still was very rough, the place. It was like, but in the years now, if you come now, so many things now, finally, then with the grace of COVID brought Madhusudan Maharaj there. Yeah. He came to visit, and then he was like kind of stuck there. And it was just before this, Shantimai, she had an inspiration. It was just before they did the Brexit. I don't know if you're aware, but London came out of Europe, so he is a British citizen, and before it was no problem, they can come and go, it's Europe, no problem. But just before that, we were able to do some residence in Italy for him, so that enabled us to keep him there, have his insurance, and everything was settled just before, because he was there already 2 months, so we were able to do all this paper. And so by Gurudev's mercy, now we have Madhusudan Maharaj there with us, and we're very happy, and it's very inspiring for us to see how it's a real sadhu, really, never ask anything, self-sufficient, always at service, as he always been, Madhusudan, like Mahananda. And we are so grateful that he's there. And since he's there with us, then the deities came. After 20 years. Yeah, 20 years. We always were afraid to have deities. Everyone. everyone. Me, mostly Madhurananda, Samuninda. We shift. Shri Guru Goranga Gandharvika Gopinath. The most beautiful deities. Okay, we can have a competition. Anyway, and Giriraj, always been there. Giriraj Balagopal. Yes. I have too much time. I spoke too much. Anyway, so, yes. So many more stories, but no time. And then now, Jai Gurudev.
Gosh, it's impossible to follow up all of these great devotees and beautiful speakers. I'm not used to speaking, so I'm glad there's only 2.5 minutes left. I got off the hook a little bit. Oh my gosh. I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for all of these devotees and those friendships that I've had. Bimala Didi, Kalindi Didi, Krishna Kanta, so many of you all. Just over the years, I am very mentally deranged and have too much problem in here. So all of this offensive nature is always existing, and I'm trying to continue on in the association of saintly people. So it's kind of ridiculous because I've got this outfit on, but I know what's going on inside. So somehow or other, through the grace of Gurudev, I'm here. And but I was just going to say that, and now also I'm in Salt Lake City, and I have the beautiful association of Sri Lanka Didi, and her association keeps me with a light of sanity and a light of hope. It's really the association, to have some friendships with those qualified devotees is so important. It has been so important in my quest for attempting spiritual life. And the difficulties that come, we know that there's always going to be the difficulties, even if we are, wherever we are, out there, we're here, in here, out here. It's there'll be those wonderful times, and there'll be those really difficult times. But really, through the association, when we can have someone to, cry to ask to speak with, and to hear from, maybe it's not always just in the temple, but someone that's close to us. And so I think it's important, in our, to have that, to try to find that, to try to develop that with someone, find someone senior, qualified person that can be someone that we can call when we feel terrible, when we really are having a hard time, and because that is how we will receive, like Bimala was saying. Bimala so often has been one that I've, gone to over the years. We lived in the ashram together, and seeing her serving always, and I could never be like Bimala, but you were always there. Like that ideal of her sacrifice and her mood of surrender and her mood of dedication was very much like an ideal, and still is an ideal for me. But that hearing from you, Bimala, and other friends, that was been really important for me to be able to be sitting here just now, because it's very easy to get distracted. It's very easy to, the external energy, the illusory environment, Maya, however we want to call her, she's way more stronger than we are. We're very, very, very small. I'm very, very, very small. And I really don't have any kind of sincerity or, or ability or strength or power or anything. So that energy will take me away or any of us away at any moment. Very easily. No problem, So how do we protect ourselves from that? How do we protect ourselves from that? And I think Gurudev really said many times, about how the importance of association, importance of our the service and our association, and good association also. Who is qualified person and trying to get their association and trying to hear from Gurudev's words, through the books now, and but through those qualified devotees we're hearing, and that is coming through. Gurudev is coming through them when we are inquiring sincerely. So it is really important. Not that I have this quality, but I'm just thinking of this now. This quality of trying to, let's me try to have some sincerity, inquiry, to listen, to hear, and to get this good association. So that's such a wonderful opportunity we have now. We come together in this time, and we can get each other's phone numbers. We can be re-inspired to stay connected throughout the year, until next year. If we're living far away, we have so many opportunities, different apps and the phone and video calls and Zooms, so we can try to maintain this devotional association and to protect ourselves, and to also to maybe try to encourage others. Everyone's in a different situation, or maybe I'll be having. We hear the example that Guru Maharaj I gave in one of his books of how, and Yudamanyu used to give this example too a lot. But if there's just one stick, it's very easy to break. If you have one stick in your hand, you can break it very easily. But if you put a bunch of sticks together, then you have that. You can't break that. So the example of that, of us as an association, then we're stronger. We can't be broken. So I think that's my inspiration for now, for today, is just the value of this beautiful association and each other and every one of you. And if someone is, maybe I'm having a good day, someone else maybe is having a bad day, and it's just, being able to be aware of that. If someone needs to, maybe they just need to express themselves something, or maybe they need an ear to, speak something, or to try to, that what Saraswati was saying earlier, just to try to make sure that we can give some of our energy to our God brothers and God sisters. If we know that maybe they're having some difficulty, try to reach out, try to spend some time, to someone, just so, how do we give affection? That is one way of trying to give affection. It's just, hey, how's it going? Whatever, call up a little bit, or keeping in touch like that. So this is a beautiful opportunity. We're all here together, and I'm very grateful to be up here with you all and hear from you all. I think this was a wonderful class and heart's expression time, and very grateful to still be here. And Jai Gurudev, Jai Govinda Mela, Ki Jai.
Jai Raja Mohini Didi.
We are coming back for
We're gonna have some kirtan now to conclude this class. While that's coming, I wanna personally thank all of you for melting my heart. I have a bucket there so I could put together, but it won't hold for much if you keep in doing that. So thank you everybody for being here for this class. We're gonna, let me give you just a heads up what is ahead of us. So Prashadam Seva, well, we have Arti now, Prashadam Seva, and 3 p.m. we are back here in the Pandal for a class with Devashish Prabhu. He will be talking about Sri Guru and his grace. And then 4 p.m. we have entrance to a sacred place here in the ashram, the sewing room where Srimati Shranangi creates beautiful offerings for the deities, and she can tell all her secrets, how that come true, how Gurudeva empowered her and gave her this beautiful service. And it's a questions class. So all your burning questions, bring them in. It is limited space, so run for it, okay? So join us for Kirtan. Krishna Kanta, you gonna, Braja? Which microphone? Oh, yes. So 5 p.m., you're right, I'm right. 5 p.m. is the main attraction of the day. We're gonna officially inaugurate Shri Govinda Mela with all our beautiful Acharya, Srila Janardhan Maharaj, Srila Ashram Maharaj, Sripad Nyasi Maharaj, Sripad Puri Maharaj, Devashish Prabhu, and the list goes on and on. All the beautiful Gurudeva daughters here, and you. We're gonna all be together. I hope I see you guys, and Govinda! 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 Very good.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo, Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Gora Haribo. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Will you say the key jar? Say the key jar. Haribo. Jai Shaparikara Shishi Guru Goranga Gandharvika Gir Tarju Ki Jai Jai Shaparikara Shishi Guru Goranga Sundarju Ki Jai Jai Vishnupad Paramamsa Parivajakacharya Varya Asura Sadashi Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivajakacharya Varya Asura Sadashi Srila Bhakti Rakakshidar Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai Jai Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Jai Srila Bhakti Pavan Janarda Maharaj Ki Jai Srila Bhakti Kusham Ashram Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Srila Bhakti Vigraha Nyasi Maharaj Ki Jai Jai Srila Bhakti Puri Maharaj Ki Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Ma Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai Vishrenya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai all the assembled devotees Ki Jai all the world devotees Ki Jai Shri Govinda Mela Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande Haribo Haribo.
Dandavats devotees. So now we have arati and prasadam will be served here in the Pandal. Okay? Oh, that was a party.
Who knows why? Who knows why? Thank you for participating in the high